Hey guys, what is going on? Cloudflare went down for approximately 2 hours, around 7 hours ago. That was like around midnight here Pacific daytime. And I want to talk about it. Obviously, I'm driving to work, parked, so we're safe, making a video. We had to drive to work, so yeah. It's like the good old day from working from home are done. But yeah, so I work kind of partially from home, partially from the office. But yeah, today happens to be the office, so I had to work, and but can't really don't talk about this. So what could have caused these problems? Yeah? Cloudflare. We talked about outages before with Cloudflare, and mainly Cloudflare maintains like a huge portion of the internet. It runs the border gateway protocol. It has its own border gateway protocol, which basically, if you don't know, this is the protocol that links autonomous systems, which is collection of IP addresses, ISPs, if you will. It links ISPs together, and these routers have routes that kind of link these autonomous together, and Cloudflare maintains some of these routes. So what we've seen before, outages like someone pushed the wrong configuration and kind of slashed half of the internet from existence. So IP packets destined to certain IP addresses are no longer can be routed, although the actual backend, the actual autonomous system, the actual IP address exists, but the routers receiving those do not know how to route because the border gateway protocol entries are missing. So I believe that's very similar to what happened to Facebook outage last year, I believe. Yeah, last year, where Facebook told the internet that, hey, I no longer exist. It actually removed itself from the internet, right? From the border gateway protocol. But here, from the screenshots you guys sent, obviously I was sleeping, it seems like it's a DNS error, right? It's 500 errors. So this means that if you hosted your website, so again, we're guessing here because we don't have what is called the RCA. We don't have a root cause analysis for this thing yet, so we speculate as usual. So what happened from these errors, the DNS could not be resolved, origin error, that's what we get, 500 errors. This means that if you hosted your website on Cloudflare, you opt that the main DNS entry, let's say example.com, will point to Cloudflare's IP addresses, right? So that's the kind of agreement here. And then you also allow Cloudflare to generate a certificate for you so that they can effectively terminate the traffic, terminate the TLS, and then look at your content. So anything you send between your clients and your backend, the Cloudflare will look at it. Why? Because it needs to cache it, right? That's what a CDN does. So you would visit a website like that. Stack Overflow exactly does the same thing, by the way, with Fastly. So you would go to stackoverflow.com, but that actually goes to the CDN. That DNS entry goes to the CDN, right? And then Cloudflare, if it has the content, it will serve you directly. But most of the time it doesn't. So it needs to turn around and call your actual backend. So it has configuration of your entries of all possible backend origin servers. And those are not the same DNS entries, regardless. It could be, server1.stackoverflow.com, server2, stackoverflow.com, or server3.example.com. So it will have a list of DNS entries. So now, right, what Cloudflare needs to do is turn around and talk to you on your backend, right? And it uses something called the Cloudflare API to do all of that stuff. First of all, it needs to do a DNS resolution for the server1.example.com, server2.example.com. It needs to do that, right? And it seems here from the screenshot you guys sent, the 500 errors are again, we're speculating, either the DNS itself failed, so that the I could not even get an IP address. Almost honked. I could not even get an IP address. That means, what does that mean? It means when I try to go to server1.example as Cloudflare and try to connect to the backend, I can't even do that DNS. So why? Could be the authoritative server is down. I doubt it, because it is your authoritative DNS entry. So it's completely someone has nothing to do with Cloudflare. I doubt that is down for everybody. So now, the other thing is, maybe the actual backend is there. The DNS is up and running on the backend. But Cloudflare could not reach you for some reason. That tells me it's most probably a networking issue. No? And give my networking course to understand all these network intricacies. Shameless plug. network.husseinnasser.com. I'll have it in the comment below. But yeah, so that means IP packet destined to that IP address. Forget about your IP address. It couldn't even get there. It's trying to do a DNS, right? Which goes through all the recursors, and then finds all the IP addresses of the recursors, and then turns it on and found the authoritative name server. But it could not connect to the authoritative name server because it's just another public IP address. And it seems like this is the communication that has been severed. Right? So looks like not a DNS issue, but an actual network issue. Right? Could it be that DNS actually succeeded, but connecting to your IP failed? I doubt it. I don't know if like why would you be able to connect to the authoritative name server but not the public IP addresses of my backend? Doesn't make sense. So that's just a guess. Let's wait and see. Again, if you want to learn more about DNS, I talked about it in actually a backend engineering show episode called DNS is Beautiful. Check it out, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. You guys stay awesome. Bye. And when we have the RCA, I'll talk about it in detail. Bye.